Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today on Circuit Breakers, it's going to be one heck of a game. It's going to be an epic game and a DEF CON 1 game from RJB. It's going to be JyJ and Sacsri in a TVZ, bottom left. Man, I don't like brown as a color. Let's go ahead and do red versus blue. Bottom left, it's going to be our red Terran player. It is JyJ, ASL champion. And in the top right, Sacsri, not an ASL champion, but man, he can take down so many higher level players than him. So, let's see if he takes down JyJ today. Man, Sacsri versus Snow, there are some epic games featuring Sacsri on this channel. Maybe he needs his own playlist, man. If you haven't seen Sacsri versus Snow, one of them involves scouts and an incredible drop from Sacsri on one of Snow's bases on Blue Storm. So, if you want a link to that, let me know. Again, I read every single comment anybody ever makes on my channel. I'm not big enough that there are so many, I cannot read them all. So, if you want to get my attention, leave a comment, and I'll respond to it if I want to, or if you ask a question, or if you want a link to a replay I talked about in a cast. But please be specific, because if you say, hey, I want to link to that video you talked about in this cast, I'm like, I cast a lot of StarCraft, man, and I talk about a lot of videos. Please be more specific, and I will help you out. So just be specific. Name the players I talked about and the map if I did, and I will help you out, okay? Okay, so barracks coming up inside the main base here from JyJ. Hatch firsting it. Here is Sacsri. Both players playing under a barcode name, but RJB has a program that looks at replays, looks at the hotkeys they use, and looks at build orders and stuff, and determines who the barcode player is. So, Sacsri versus JyJ, RJB's program determined. All right, check them out at youtube.com/RJB_TV. And yeah, so scouting. Haven't found anything yet. Mr. Danny the Drone and Steve the SCV. No early gas here, so there's not going to be a factory. It looks like just a 1-Rax expand timing here. But it would be nice to know that there's a hatch first here before we do that. So, Steve the SCV is moments away from discovering that it's going to be a hatch first. And saving up for a command center is JyJ and yes, okay, there's a hatch first. So, yep. Going to go ahead and expand, and now that we know it's extremely safe, 1-Rax expand, and a little bit of a macro hatch coming up inside the main base, and a spawning pool and an extractor, and Muta opening here from Sacsri. Wow, drone all the way inside here. Okay, fair enough. He sees no gas, so it says, okay, you're not making a factory, you're expanding, even though I did not actually see you expand because I died before I could get back out there. And everything is A-okay, man. All right, so Sulky has now won 3 premier tournaments in a row. The last 2 ASLs and the first SSL, which is just rebranded ASL. Hope you can hear my eye roll there. But yeah, thanks to Soup, man. Keeping StarCraft alive with excellent, incredible high-level tournaments. Even if I do think that their branding is a little bit weird. So, Engineering Bay, excellent. We got a +1 timing. And then in Engineering Bay also doubles as the ability to make missile turrets. Against how many Mutalisks is Sacsri going to make? I'm going to say at least 11. And a +1 flyer attack. That is my guess here for Sacsri today. Should be a good time. Looking forward to it. And yeah, speaking of good times, guess what? The sponsor for today's cast is Pulls It. Check it out. Take it away, Falcon. Today's sponsor is Pulls It. You guys know him. Link in the description to sign up. Use your Google account. Use your email address. And if you sign up for free, because it is free, I get a kickback from the advertisers. So if you want to support Falcon, sign up in the link in the description. And you can answer questions like, who is the Protoss Hope right now in Brood War? Protoss haven't won an ASL or an SSL since Mini did it in August of 2021. Who will be the next toss to win an SSL? You have several selections to choose from, or you can just choose other here, and you can comment as well. Other questions like, what's your favorite matchup to watch in Brood War? And there are comments from people like Peter and Anthony. We've got, let's see, RJB here. Let's see if we have a response from RJB. RJB is on, pulls it. There it is. Solki es numero uno. He says. So will Flash qualify for SSL? Will Solki become the new Bonjour in Broodor? And yeah, it's just a social media platform built around polls. So thanks again for supporting me. Polls it. I really do appreciate it. And sign up today. Now back to the cast. And thank you, Falcon, for that Polls It advertisement. And check out the link in the description. All right. Now, what is happening in this game here? This larva is going to be available to make a lot of Mutalisks here. You can make 9 Mutas with 3 hatches when that Spire finishes, if that's what you want to do. We have seen players get this macro hatch, not use it for Mutas. And in fact, we'll see. Metabolic boost on the way. That's normal stuff. Not quite sure what's up here, but it looks like a very SK Terran play here from JyJ, and we know how the current meta goes the longer the game gets into it with SK Terran versus Zerg. When they get those Ultralisks out, when they get +5, when they get +6 armor on those Mutas, the Marines really struggle to kill them in any numbers at all. Unless, you know, you're leaking out 1 or 2 Ultras at a time, then yeah, the Marines with +3 and Stim and Medic support can take them down. But if we're talking about 5 Ultras show up, then suddenly all the Marines in the world have a really hard time with it. And if you irradiate the Ultras, yes, you're doing damage to them, but also they're doing splash damage biological to all of your Marines, and it's just a bad time had by all in that situation. So I am curious to see how Sacsri's SK Terran is going to work here. Excuse me. A little bit of a inhaling my own spit there. Delicious, delicious casting problems here. I am streaming 6 times a week here on this channel too, so if you're like, man, I wish Falcon cast more games, well, I am. I'm casting a lot more games. Most of the streams are basically me casting games like these in the giant 27,000 replay folder that I've got here on my PC. So come say hey. I'm usually streaming around noon Eastern time till like 4 Eastern time in the US, which means it's a good time for Europeans and a good time for people who maybe work weird times at their jobs in the US, whatever. We kind of all over the place with the streams, to be honest with you. But if you stop by, I'm, you know, decent chance I'm live. I'm streaming about 4 hours a day, except for Sunday, where it is, in fact, 7 hours a day. You probably know that already. Bottom right, coming up, third base on the high ground, and he's planning on defending it with the 9 Mutalisks that he just fired up. So there we go. 9 Mutas using all 9 of the larva these hatcheries provided him. He makes a 10th and 11th Muta. What did I tell you? He's going heavy on Mutas. I also said he's going to get a +1 flyer attack, but he would need some gas for that. He's spending all of his gas on Mutas instead of an attack upgrade for them. And guess who's getting upgrades? Range upgrade. +1 infantry weapons upgrade. Right? This is all very good. A Hydrodon. He's not getting an attack upgrade at all. Not that he's... I mean, if we're going to get one, you need to start it pretty soon here, Sacsri. Because it takes forever. And sometimes players even get that +1 flyer attack, and all their Mutas are dead before it finishes. So... you gotta be careful with it. So here come the Mutalisks. Again, time is of the essence here. 2 turrets inside the natural. Can we 2 volley down a turret? God, we can't even 3 volley down a turret. Not a great start for this Mutaflock. Again, without upgrades, without +1 flyer, and without a full stack, you're not gonna 2 volley down these turrets, which is what you really want to do. If you can come in, 1 volley, 2 volley down a turret, you're really gonna break through these defenses of a Terran player. But if you can't do that, it's a tough ask to have you do that. This base is in a lot of trouble. JyJ, man, if you know that's there, there is nothing defending it right now. He's just kind of hanging out. Like, I guess he's really trying to keep his SCVs alive here at the natural base, which is not going particularly well for him. Where are the rest of the Mutas? He made 11 frigging Mutas. Good scan on those Lings. Did he cancel some of them? Because I swear he had 11 Mutas in the production tab at one time. And he does not have anywhere near 11 Mutas right now. So I don't know. Ooh, I love the Queen's Nest timing too. This is great out of Sacsri. He's making 2 more Mutalit. Where did they go? He never had a full stack. Every time I checked, he never had a full stack of Mutas. Where are they? Did he? I'm going to rewind this, you guys. This is freaking me out. Sorry. Sorry, y'all. We're doing our best here. But I feel like I got tricked or something. So look. Look. This group of Mutalisks is 9. And there's 10. Okay. And then maybe he lost one in that first dive in. Okay, fair enough. So he made 11 Mutalisks. That's what it is. Oh, no, here it is. Here's the full stack. Okay, so he did have the full stack for a second. And then he loses one. Okay. Fine. Everything's fine. Falcon freaked out about nothing at all. He loses another Muta there. He's going to lose another one. Nope, he's not. He's going to fall back. He's going to try to jump on this group, who, again, is just aimlessly standing around, vaguely in the shape of a Y. I'm not sure what that's all about. But yeah, totally going to get jumped on here. I love the stim, but you guys are not enough to deal with this many Lings and this many Mutalisks. Again, no upgrades on those Lings, right? We don't have a Carapace upgrade yet, do we? No, of course not. 0/0 Lings and 0/0 Mutos, but you just don't have the numbers to deal with this, my guy. So, JyJ, oh, maybe he does. Big swell of Marines coming in from the left side here. That's a big group. There was a window. There was a window to wipe out this third base, but guess what? You missed it. You missed it, my guy, because now there's lurkers morphing up here, and now you're not breaking. Now he's going to check it. What is with Terran players not even checking third bases on maps like this? What is with them just not even looking? Not even going for it. Maybe he assumes the Mutas and Lings will jump on him. It's like, can I get up this ramp? No? Crap. Well, lurkers burrow in, and we're out of here. Lurkers fall. Look at that range. Just perfectly placed. Yeah, you're not getting up here without science vessels or siege tanks, so go back home and get some of those. Yep, so the 2 Mutas did replace some of the more injured ones. And our guy is making a science facility, so he wants to get some science vessel play, obviously. Is he going to try to break this? Holy, 6 Sunkens. I mean, it's not Crazy Ultra, or is it? Or Crazy Zerg, rather. Should be called Crazy Ultra. That's a little bit more descriptive about what the strategy is. So yeah, Artosis, when you came up with this term, why didn't you get a better name for it? Inside SSL casting joke with Artosis and Tasteless. Lings and Mutas. Oh no, Mutas on top of your barracks. Is this a sneaky 2 for you guys? Did I end up selecting a shorter game for you and then tacking a longer one on the end to trick you? Because sometimes when there are dudes right on top of your barracks like this, you die. Oh, these Lings, yeah, trying to get out of here. Enough reinforcements do seem to come in to deal with this, and the Mutas are flying out. So lost a bunch of SCVs, 39 to 37. Yeah, it's Hydras, it's Lurkers, it's Mutas, it's all sorts of amazing stuff here. So it's not crazy, Zerg, but that's a lot of... Is he... No! All right, he decides he's got enough, and he does, actually. Dude, what a gutsy bust up that ramp. I have not seen that work a lot in my casting history. But the guy just totally busted up a ramp with 3 lurkers at the top and lost some dudes, but it was acceptable losses, and now the third base is going to die. Maybe the third base is going to die. He's going for the guaranteed damage, sort of this extractor. That's going to slow down the Zerg, and, oh yeah, just picking off these Mutas as they try to fly in. That's Scourge? Did he try to make some Scourge down here? What for? I don't know. But the hatch is dead. And all these guys, yeah. These guys are getting spined completely to death here. But, I mean, mission accomplished on these friends. Look at them. They're trying to kill another lurker. They get another lurker before they die. Cost efficiency at its best. Nidus Canal building on the rapidly receding creep here. He's like, I should have had this a while ago. But I didn't have a hive yet, so understandable. Woo! Adrenal's coming in. Consume's coming in. Irradiate is on the way. And moving out again is JyJ. Now, what do I always say? Killing the Zerg's third base is a death sentence. It is a death knell to any Zerg in a situation like this. He's down 45 to 38 workers. 2 base to 2 base. Hugely favors the Terran. But guess what? The Zerg player Consume's almost done. Adrenal's on the way. This is a lot of Marines with no fire bats at all. But maybe, oh, JyJ, if you come down here, some lurkers are going to pop out of this Nidus, in fairness. He's getting a third base. Big fan of that on the left side here. Zerg probably won't be taking the corresponding middle base on the right side because tanks exist, even if there aren't any tanks in this game currently. I just feel like, I don't know, this is a map for tanks. I would not be shocked if JyJ managed to get some tanks out here. It's a longer game, so it's in his back pocket, right? Right. Is there a lurker? Yeah, lurker's stacked with an overlord on top of it. That is a tough nut to crack. So not going to work out. Going to check in the top left, see if there's anything. Kill an overlord, maybe get rid of some of the eyes in the sky for Sacsri. But yeah, man, JyJ is an ASL champion, so he's playing like one right now. He's definitely bullying Sacsri a bit, which is what you want to do in a game of StarCraft. You want your favorite player to bully their opponent. It's the best way to play. If you feel like your opponent is not being bullied, especially a Zerg player is not being bullied, then they get massive, and then they show up with 12 Ultras at your front door and Dark Swarms go right here, and then you die. That's it. That's the win condition for the Zerg. Doesn't really matter how many bases they have. If they can pull that off against this SK Terran stuff, it's going to work out. Dark Swarm up. Doesn't protect Sunkens, but still it's a lot of Sunkens, and these guys want nothing to do with it. Trying to sneak down this way a little bit again, see if there's a new 4th base coming in, because they can probably shut that down if they're here in the right place at the right time. These Adrenalings get no kills because there are 3 of them. Don't be ridiculous. It's not how that's supposed to work. And denial. This is 4th base denial. This is a 4th base coming up top left side and actually kind of protected. Look at this. Look at this. Dude, JyJ has this game in the bag. I'm not even sure. I mean, here's the thing. It's an incredible lead that JyJ has managed to get in this game. It's awesome. But guess what? It's SK Terran, and guess what's on the way? Ultralisks. So this is one of the games where the Zerg player probably should be dead. Economically, 100% should be dead. But because of the incredible cost efficiency of Ultras with 5 to 6 armor, of Dark Swarm, of Plague, of especially, what else are we looking at here? Lurkers and stuff. And the Adrenal upgrade. Like, don't call it a comeback, but I feel like Sacsri's going to be okay here, folks. Yeah. So that command center needs to finish now. Oh my gosh. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, he got it. He got it, and he's lifted it. That's huge. It's so hard for this strategy to kill command centers if you're a Zerg player, because you're not making Mutalisks. You're not making mutas in numbers to kill command centers that are flying, and Scourge certainly aren't going to take down a command center. So killing these things is hard, and yeah, you can totally save your base by lifting the command center. Probably won't die to a Zerg player unless, again, they make a whole butt ton of mutas, which they don't want to do. Oh, JyJ. Oh, JyJ. Is this another way to throw a lead, making a physics lab and making the battle cruisers, JyJ? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Nice Plague. How does SK Terran work against these Ultras and these Defilers, you ask? Well, Science Vessels. Science Vessels are the key to this whole thing. If you have Science Vessels, you can win. Even from a position where the Zerg player has all of their tools. But then the counter to that is this Plague, which eats and eats and eats and eats and eats away at the HP of these Science Vessels. And then one Muta is produced, and it's not enough to kill a command center, but it's enough to kill like all the Science Vessels if they have been plagued. Another Plague gets tossed down, and we're just buying time to get a 4th base up. A 5th base is under construction. I like this. Sacsri is kind of playing this like a Protoss in a PvT. He's like, I'm going to expand everywhere. And then if I lose a couple of bases, it's not a big deal, right? Right. This is great out of JyJ. Big fan. Big fan of how he's playing right now. It's just the Zerg player... that's a Carapace upgrade. I don't know how else to explain this to you. There's Ultras coming in. They're going to be very hard to kill. If you irradiate them early, when they're on this side of the map, then by the time they reach the other side of the map, they're pretty weak and injured and can be killed. So that's part of it. Try to catch those dudes. How many lurkers is this? 3. And there's Dark Swarm. So the Marines are like, well, we're not welcome here at all. How are you doing, Science Vessels? Not plagued. How are the other Science Vessels doing? Did they go back home and get repaired? Did they get killed by a Mutalisk? Oh, no. Oh, gosh, they did, didn't they? They did, didn't they? Gotta see that. I'm just gonna follow you guys for a minute. La la la. See, 3 of you are horribly plagued. Oh, did Scourge get them? It's kind of a waste of Scourge. It's an expensive kill on an already plagued Science Vessel. Okay, well now more of them are plagued. Oh, man. So... Oh, there is Mutalisk here. Okay. Right. So we're just parked over this way, holding hands. These guys all die. Eventually, these mutas jump on this. How is not... Ugh, I'm dreading this moment because it's going to be really bad. So the science vessels come in. The mutas jump on it. Okay. Yeah, all right. All right. Yeah, there. Yep. That's what we expected to happen. And then 2 more science vessels join the party, so there's 3 healthy ones. But no evidence of the deaths of the other science vessels because they don't leave debris when they die. They just explode. Yep, there we go. 2 more science vessels join the party. Ugh. Ugh. That's just... JyJ, massive lead, right? 72 workers to 46 workers, 166 to 124 supply. Got a bit of a contain here on Sacsri. Sacsri's all stuck on 4 bases. He's on the right side of the map. Can't seem to get across the map to save his life. He's going to try to take this bottom lane and sneak up. Look at tanks. I told you we would get tanks on this map. And, you know, pick off a fire bat. Pick off another fire bat. But there's more fire bats. And that's a good shutdown there. Dark Swarm is so good. JyJ, get out of there, man. He's inside the house with you. Oh, okay. Casual 4-kill Ultralisk. Doesn't even have speed yet. Just a slow Ultralisk. Can't really chase you down, but oh my gosh. The irradiate damage is doing so much work there. Busting out of the natural base are a ton of Lings and Ultras. Probably enough to do it. I mean, especially because Defender's Advantage kicks in and more Lings roll in. That entire group actually got wiped out, so that's a win for JyJ. He held that. I mean, almost nothing is left, but he killed every Zerg unit that tried to break it. That's a win. Is he mech transitioning? The man is still making Marines. He's got 3-2 upgrades on him, too. I mean, he is really, really heavily going into mech here after investing a lot into SK Terran. He knows. He knows the longer the game goes on, the worse SK Terran is. Let's do this thing, JyJ. And the most vulnerable time you are transitioning into mech is at the very beginning of the transition, but he had Sacsri on such a back foot that he had the time to do it. I kind of love this out of JyJ. This is one of the better games I've seen him play on the channel. I mean, this attack up at the top lane's really bad, but guess what? High ground siege tanks cover a bunch of errors. If maybe you don't have enough to hold, maybe Dark Swarm is showing up. Guess what? High ground siege tanks have got you ready to go. And that Ultra comes up the ramp and dies immediately. And then the Lings aren't as bad because there's fire bats in there. This is great. This is super great. Have these guys been plagued yet? No. Ooh, he's going to snipe a Nidus and catch a plague. There it is. That's a Plaguorama. Then you plague them again, and you bring over like 2 Scourge, and they die. So, good times. Good times for those battle cruisers. So I like the mech transition. I like the idea that you've done enough damage to the... Okay, see you later, guys. To the Zerg player that maybe you can't close it out on them with SK Terran, right? Maybe even though you have a massive advantage on them, SK Terran's not going to be able to slam the door and get the win because of the bullcrap Ultras with the armor and the Dark Swarm and the Plague and stuff. So, you transition into mech while the Zerg player can't kill you. But you can't quite kill them either. I like this so much. Look at these irradiated Ultralisks getting crushed by siege tank fire. And I mean, okay, these tanks are probably going to die. Great Dark Swarm. How did that Defiler get all the way in here to get that off anyway? Because the Ultras took a lot of the damage. That's how. 1 siege tank remains on the top of the wall, holding it against the Dark Swarm Ultras. Oh, on your side of the map. What did I always say? Oh, he could just consumed an Overlord to get another Dark Swarm down in this second base. Well, whatever. This natural of the top left spawn that JyJ has taken for his own. So, could have been worse. Didn't lose a lot of workers. Still 70+ workers here from JyJ. 12 o'clock being taken. Big old transfer up there from Sacsri. Mech upgrades being produced all the time here. How do you deal with mech? You drop it, says Falcon. You drop on it. You get Ventral Sacs. You get pneumatized carapace. You drop on top of these tanks with ultras, with cracklings. You get dark swarms up. You plague the things. It's all possible. How you don't do it is you run across the open space into 27 siege tanks, and then everybody dies. I mean, that's not what this is. This is a good engagement from Sacsri. Right out in the open here. Yeah, I gotta fall back from that position. That's not good at all. I do appreciate that our man has stopped making battle cruisers because he was using them wrong. You use battle cruisers to clear out spots for drops, or you use BCs as part of the general army that you're running around the map. That way, you can shoot down Scourge that come to kill them and keep Defilers away from them, and they can provide a lot of value for you. But on solo missions, battle cruisers are garbage and should not be used because they are garbage. If you're just going to send them out by 2s and 1s, it's just not worth it. It just isn't. Never is. Another ComSat station coming in. I almost thought that was a covert ops, and I was very excited for a second. I was like, ooh. Does JyJ feel like he's so ahead he can make nukes? I'd be a big fan of that. What I'd like him to do now that he's maxed out is try to shut down this 12 o'clock base. I think that's the best option for him. He needs to do that without also leaving this bottom side of the map open to counterattack, though. Can be tricky, but also he kind of needs to sack all these Marines and make room for more siege tanks. So, I mean, okay, we're just going to move command into a bunch of lurkers and Marines, I guess. That's one way to free up the supply. Nicely done. Oh, he's making more Marines and Firebats, though. Is he like hybrid meching this thing? Look at these dudes. I don't know. What are you even trying to do? What are you even trying to do? Just trying to get up here by yourselves? Very brave, I guess. And this group all by itself, and you're just not sending in armies with enough value and enough oomph to really get in there. There's the Ventral Sacs. This is Sacsri recognizing what he needs against all the millions of tanks that exist right now. 5 tanks at a time in production. That's what we're talking about. Upgrades on the tanks are +1. A +2 is on the way. When +3 happens, things start to go bad for the Zerg player, as we all know. Even Burrow. Sure. Let's throw up some Burrow research here. Sacsri sounds good. So yeah, this game has, I don't want to say completely changed, but we've added in a lot of tanks into the composition. So instead of Goliaths for anti-air, we're just using Marines for it, which, you know, provided you can kind of keep them around the tanks and shield the Marines with the siege tanks. Kind of like it. Dude, that Ultra died easy. Fast and easy. That one's going to die in another couple volleys, too. Ah, the Dark Swarms, though. God, that last one really shut down this good idea from JyJ, didn't it? It sure did. Well, might as well radiate all the things. Oh, crap, all the Marines are dead. Blah, 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 blah. Goodbye, science vessels. Ow, it was nice knowing you. But now you're dead. It's time to say goodbye. And that's all we ask of you. Man, I just rhyme you with you. I don't even know. Impromptu songwriting is hard. Well, I guess reinforcements are coming in. The bank is massive from JyJ here, so he can remax a lot faster, or, you know, remax while the Zerg is maxing for the first time. Okay, stop attacking this Ultralisk. He's invincible. Plus, you've been plagued. Plus, it's a waste of bullets. Get up here. This is so bad. Why are we wasting all of this attacking? And then a couple lings come through and eat a bunch of the guys, and oh, he got it with the splash damage. Go siege tanks! Go siege tanks inside Dark Swarm. Splash damage is good. That Ultra is dead. There we go. Got him, but more Ultras show up all the time because you're kind of sitting around waiting for more Ultras to be built. D-Matrix will keep that tank alive for about another 4 seconds, and it's going to die anyway. No big deal. Carapace upgrades on the way, so that drops are more effective from Sacsri. Ooh, those are just, that was a big deal, actually. So, yeah, tanks here. Tanks here. I like it. This is a good map for mech. I said that. Putting tanks on these ramps is great. Sacsri taking this base for as long as he's going to be able to hold it. I feel like that's a dangerous place to go. He's back into making battle cruisers. JyJ's like, I got a lot of gas, man. I got to spend it on something, and I'm going to make battle cruisers. They're fun. Yeah, I guess, if you use them right. But you haven't been using them right so far, and this 12 o'clock hatch is going to go down. Bit of a Ling Ultra attack. I don't like this from Sacsri at all. I mean, there's a Dark Swarm, sure. Okay, a Plague on a couple of the tanks is not bad, but that Ultra is dead unless it runs for its... caught in a Radiate. It's super dead now. Yeah, so rebuffed. Pretty shut down. Not even that big of an issue. Oh, this group's sneaking up to this base where there's no defense at all. Look at this, 70 workers out of Sacsri. He's really got his economy rolling. Less so now, but still 67 drones is nothing to shake a stick at. Going after this hatch, but most of your force here is fire bats who are not good against buildings. This attack to the left side, I think generally just trying to keep pressure on JyJ, right? So that JyJ is not putting tanks on the other side of the map. It's kind of the win condition for him. The win condition for Sacsri, as always, is Ultras and Dark Swarms on bases that belong to JyJ. This is exactly what I was worried about happening. They've got the 6 armor. They've got the +3 attack. Some mutas are coming in. I don't even know where the battle cruisers are. I imagine they went off on a magical mystery tour on their own and got murdered, but could be wrong about that. Considering I don't see... No, they're here. Okay, so they're here. They're working. Left base is being lifted. This is what I'm talking about. He's still making Marines and fire bats and stuff. Why not just mech this? Why not just have Goliaths and Vultures and Spider Mines? Why try to hybrid this thing, JyJ? What value are you getting from this, my dude? I have so many questions. Like, literally so many questions for y'all. Because look, these Marines are not providing any value. There's a million Dark Swarms everywhere. You know what doesn't care about Dark Swarms? Spider Mines, Siege Tanks. It's great. It's really wonderful when you don't have to worry about Dark Swarm as much because you're fully meching instead of half-effortly doing this. Okay, Magical Mystery Tour. Like clockwork. Why? Stop making battle cruisers if you suck with them. I know JyJ won an ASL. I know he did. But my gosh. Ooh, try to land the 6 o'clock and immediately fully upgraded Crackling show up and try to shut it down and force another liftoff there. Yeah, man. Sacsri's going to win this thing. You're going to keep making battle cruisers, keep throwing away tons of gas and minerals on missions that don't make any sense. Insist on continuing to produce Marines at this stage of the game that just don't really help at all. I mean, they help against the Muta Tech Switch. If all you had was Siege Tanks and Vultures, then a Muta Tech Switch would kind of work. So fine, you're protecting against that, but you're just so garbage against the army that's being produced right now. It's not even fun. It's not even fun anymore. So yeah, effectively, this was a game that JyJ had won. Then he decided to tech into Siege Tanks, which was genius. But then he kept making Marines, which was not genius. And is throwing and is giving the game back to Sacsri. That's what's happening here. I am disappointed father meme from the year 2008 right now. This is... Oh my gosh, they're making more battle cruisers! I'm so mad. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just angry now. Why? You don't have a giant gas bank. You just sink 600 gas into 2 BCs that are going to force the Zerg player to scourge them to death. And that's about it. That's all you're going to do. Maybe force the Zerg player to make a slightly less amount of gas to kill them. I don't know what the math is, actually. How many scourge does it take to kill a battle cruiser? And how much gas is that in total? It's worth it, obviously, to Sacsri, because that's what he's been doing. So it's got to be less. The trades are pretty good there for the Zerg, right? And if the Zerg can make a cost-efficient trade at all, In a game where there are 47 siege tanks out, that's a good thing. Big old across the map player. Man, imagine if there were some vultures or spider mines here instead of just entirely unprotected siege tanks. Look at these marines. We got, oh no, we got dark, oh, there's a dark swarm. Oh, we're useless. Oh, we got plagued. Oh, we gotta get out of here. Oh, why are we still in this game? Why are we still making marines? This is hurting me, RJB. What is this game? What is JyJ doing? I need more games where JyJ plays smarter. Because, again, I recognize this man as an ASL champion. I watched him win in ASL. It was great. He played extremely well. But so many of these games are just like, why? Why is this what you're doing? The Dark Swarm and Ultras are at your natural base. These factories are all gonna, look at these Marines. Why are these Marines? Why are these not vultures with spider mines? Why are these Marines? Why? I know you invested a lot into the upgrades on these Marines. I get that, I do. But, friend, oh, these guys got totally plagued, didn't they? Yeah, battlecruisers got plagued. Nope, science vessels got plagued. They all die. That's a GG. We're done. We're done. I know this game's not over. But look, you got Dark Swarm and Ultras and Cracklings inside your natural base. They're taking down your supply depots. You're not even bothering to lift your second command center. You could probably save that, but whatever. Who needs to save your command center when you're losing really, really bad? Now it's 160 to 160 supply. The advantage that existed for you is gone. Your worker count is down to 40. Lings are rolling into this top left corner too, which is, I mean, a little bit better defended, I guess. Yeah, all right. High ground siege tanks saving the day here, buying JyJ just a little bit more time. Ah, battle cruisers got plagued again. Bring a Mutalisk over, wipe them out. This Defiler wanders outside of the Dark Swarm for unknown reasons. I guess because he didn't want to consume this Ultralisk for more energy. That doesn't make any sense. So he's going to run back home with his brothers. 150 to 150 supply, 68 to 33 workers. Look, I'm taking the 6 o'clock base that he forced to lift off on because JyJ never landed that thing. Horse sounds from Falcon here. Still producing Marines. I mean, yeah, he's got a 2,000 mineral bank, I guess. Or 5,000 mineral bank. Might as well make Marines, but they don't have the value that things like Cracklings do at this stage of the game in this situation. They just don't. Yeah, this game's over. Look, I know that JyJ is continuing to try to SK Terran this thing. So the tanks aren't working, guys. Why aren't the tanks working? Because the tanks aren't being adequately protected by anything. These aren't vultures. These are Marines and medics you're producing. You're trying to SK Terran this thing with siege tanks, and it doesn't work. It is a bold effort. I appreciate that. But spider mines are just better in this situation. They always have been. Look at you not even protecting these science vessels from Scourge. Look at that. Look at you not even doing that. And a Dark Swarm comes up and everything you provide value for JyJ is negated. Everything. Man, I hate Marines in late game TVZ. They're just not good. Unless you keep every science vessel alive and you have a flood of 32 science vessels and every Ultralisk that gets produced gets irradiated 3 times before it's had its breakfast. Like Flash does when he plays SK Terran. But if you can't do that, you can't keep your science vessels alive. You can't do SK Terran effectively late game against a good Zerg player. You can't. Like, Flash did it. He's probably going to do it when he comes back and tries to qualify for SSL2. And every Terran player is going to be like, oh, Flash can do it. Yeah, because he keeps the science vessels alive. Can you keep your science vessels alive, JyJ? Be honest with me. No. No, you can't. You're really bad at it, actually. Yeah, this game's over. I'm continuing to watch this game continue, which is, you know, really nice redundancy from Falcon there. That is just what you want to see from a guy like this. What can I talk about instead of this game? I'm on Instagram and TikTok these days at /Falcon Paladin. If you want to add a little StarCraft into your social media browsing, I'm out there. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X. It seems like, I don't know, is there a universal social media platform that StarCraft players are on these days? I don't know. I feel like X has been largely abandoned by a lot of people. Facebook got abandoned a long time ago because it's for boomers. Instagram is kind of for like influencers and food people and fashionistas. But I'm trying to make it for StarCraft. So come check me out. Instagram, TikTok, /Falcon Paladin. Also on Twitter /X and Facebook at /Falcon Paladin. A lot of places these days. Check it out. I just post little, 30 to minute long clips of what I'm doing. Add on these casts and streams every week. They're just fun. If all your, all your feed is cats and dogs and adorable bunnies and stuff, and every once in a while, you get Ultralisks tearing through a bunch of Marines. That's pretty fun, right? Just mix up your social media experience. Not bad. Zerg player, 3,000 mineral bank. Are these plague battle cruisers, or did they get repaired? One of them appears to be plagued. Like, in fairness, Sacsri never did actually break this top because he never went for drops. He keeps just ignoring the Ventral Sax upgrade that he researched. He's just throwing units into the meat grinder because he doesn't care. He's got 4,000 minerals in the bank. It might reach the point where he should care. It might happen. Ow. 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 Dude, this 11 kill Muta. Wow. 11 kill Muta. Are those all science vessels? They gotta be, right? Good, another science vessel flew into some spores and died. Look, JyJ is making an admirable effort here. He really is. He's refusing to die. He's killing... Oh, he's killing hatcheries. He's taking down drones. He's doing a decent job of trying to stay in this game, but it's 68 workers for Sacsri right now. 65 and up is a massive problem. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't call this a comeback. This is a fumble. This is a JyJ fumble. He had this game. He had a nice, huge advantage over the Zerg player when they started getting Dark Swarm and Plague and stuff and Ultras. Decided to mech, which was the right choice, and then continued to make a majillion Marines, which did not provide the value he needed, and subsequently Sacsri was able to come back into the game, get a huge economy, get a million bases, and win. That's what happened today. This was not a comeback. This was not Sacsri playing incredibly well. This was Sacsri being like, oh, you're still making Marines. And you're not doing a good job taking care of your science vessels. Excellent. And then he won. That's what this game is. That's it. And Sacsri says, you're still making Marines. You are still... He's trying to transition away from mech into SK Terran. This is the first ever SK Terran opening into mech, into SK Terran again game I've ever seen. I've never seen this attempted before. JyJ is a madman. Yeah, imagine if this was siege tanks protected by vultures and spider mines and stuff. Imagine. Imagine how dead all of this Zerg would be instead of very alive and eating all of the Marines, and then the plagues keep coming through and your science vessels keep dying, and... Once again, it's just another game where Sacsri's like, oh yeah, a much better player than me. I'll just go ahead and win this, thank you. Very capable of that. Have I won an ASL of my own? No. Am I gonna win an SSL in the future? Probably not. But my ZBT and my ZVP are incredible. Like, they're really, really good. And they have been for a long time. Look at these fire bats. Die, Ultralisks. They did, it worked. The fire bats did it. GG. JyJ taps out, and Sacsri is our winner. Look, man, I am a Zerg player. I have been Zerg since 1998. I love Zerg. But I don't, like, Zerg didn't deserve this win. This is not something Sacsri did. He did not play amazingly well. He played well. He macroed well. He defended his bases okay. He got upgrades real fast. His Dark Swarms and his Plagues were on point. They were very good, but at a level we expect from an elite Zerg player, which he is. But nothing else was great here. He wasn't using drops. He never even broke this base. He just kept trying to run Lings up this ramp and they would die over and over again, which is why these tanks have a few kills among them, right? Never even killed this. Never did. No drops, no crazy stuff, no weird muta transitions, no, I don't know, lurker drops or anything cool. He just made Lings and Ultras and ran them across the map and tried to win with that, and the spellcasting was great. But JyJ was just like, hey, these little guys, you see these guys in power armor? They're my favorite. I'm going to continue to make them the entire game, despite them getting almost no value to a late game Ling Ultra Defiler Swarm. No value. There just isn't anything here. The mech transition was genius. It was the smartest thing I've ever seen. I was effusive in my praise, wasn't I? I was like, hey, look at JyJ. He's up. He got a huge win. He knows he can't close the game with Marines anymore. He's meching. Let's go. And then he just kept making Marines forever. And again, I don't know if this is because he got upgrades for them. He had 3-3, and he's like, I can't stop making Marines. They have upgrades. I spend so much money on these guys. If I stop making them, it's admitting defeat. It's a sunk cost fallacy he threw himself into. Because, yeah, I guarantee Sacsri about 10 times in this game is like, you are still making Marines. There are still no spider mines or vultures running around. None. Wow, what a lucky guy I am. And then wins. So again, not a comeback. I'm not DEFCON winning this replay. RJB is wrong. 357,000 points, 407,000 points there. APM about 2-1. That's a 278 APM is not incredibly high. Outproduced the Terran, got outkilled by the Terran, but the production 1,500 units produced by the Zerg today. That's pretty good. Raised buildings 52-22 in favor of the Zerg. Pretty standard in games like these of this length, and the outspend is not even that amazing. This isn't even, for a 40-minute game, an 8,000 resource outspend is actually bad. That's not enough. It's not enough to win unless your guys spend a ton of money on Marines that got no value in the last 20 minutes of the game. In which case, thumbs up, you did it. That was enough. Golf clap. Golf clap for you, Sacsri. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a GG, I guess. That's going to be it for me today anyway. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can catch me on, Twitch. We'll talk about Twitch too. Twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin. And again, check out Pulls It, link in the description. Sign up for that. Throw Falcon some cash. A little bit of a bonus the more people that sign up. And that's it for me. So until next time, as always, thanks so much for watching. You take care of yourself.